Hi there, I am Cadet Colonel Iva Hammett, and I am the primary representative for the National Cadet Advisory Council, and I'm here to give you guys an update on how the National Cadet Advisory Council is running and what sort of projects we've taken on so far this term. So for those of you that don't know, the National Cadet Advisory Council is a council of cadets that operates at the national level. We have 2 cadets from each region, a primary and assistant representative. So I'm the primary and our assistant is Cadet Major Reagan Hess. And so we get together and we discuss projects that have been sent to us by region cadet advisory councils, CACs, or national cadet programs, or projects that various representatives have come up with on their own volition. So I'm here to talk about some of the projects that we've taken on so far this term. Our term runs from October to October. So we started in October of 2019 and we'll be wrapping up here in October of 2020. So there were a few things that I wanted to discuss. I'll just go straight into them. If you have any questions about any of the projects that I'll be touching on today, you can feel free to contact me. I'll talk about my contact information at the end of this briefing. But feel free to reach out or follow the NCAC on social media, and we have updates on all of our projects on there as well. So the first project that we took on this term, we were running a few simultaneously. We work in committees, so this first committee was tasked with looking at the design of the Spots Award. So the National Cadet Programs team came to us and asked us to consider, since other youth organizations like the Boy Scouts, their pinnacle achievement have more people earning them. So as a percentage of Boy Scouts, more people get the Eagle Scout than percentage of Civil Air Patrol cadets get the Spots Award. And so we were tasked with looking at the design of that, and we discussed how it affects retention of senior cadets. We discussed the Civil Air Patrol's comparison to other national youth organizations. We talked about personal development, and we updated, we recommended no changes be made. So we presented that at the Winter Command Council in February, as well as most of these proposals that I'll be talking about today. Our second proposal that we took on was an ask from cadet programs to outline desired features for a cadet app. So if national cadet programs were to design a cadet smartphone app, we were asked with looking at what sort of features would be helpful for cadets. So we talked about having a calendar, a ribbon rack builder, a cadet library where we can access publications, various trackers, physical fitness and promotion, as well as a way to access ops quals and a quizzing section. So we sent that up to cadet programs for consideration. We also discussed the way that CAC assigns representatives. So there's 2 systems of assigning representatives across the nation, and in North Central region as well as Great Lakes, and I believe one more that I can't remember, we have a 4-hat system, which basically means that we have the region CAC and the national CAC, and those are 2 sets of people. So the chair of the region CAC does not also operate as the National Cadet NCAC primary representative, and the vice chair doesn't operate as the assistant representative. In some regions, that's the case. So we looked at how dual service affects the way that CACs run, and we incorporated the language that we discussed and we decided on into the pamphlet that we've been creating, 60-35. So I believe it's 52-19 is the current regulation that guides how CACs are run. And so this NCAC has been working on for quite a while now, and we just got this sent up to National Cadet Programs a few days ago, actually. But so we've been rewriting 60-35 will be the new pamphlet name, and it has all of the information about how a CAC should be run, including rules of order, how the whole system works, how to draft proposals, how to send those off to people. So hopefully we're getting it to be a one-stop shop. So for people that have questions or want information on the Cadet Advisory Councils, they can come to that pamphlet. But we just forwarded that off to cadet programs for editing and review, and then hopefully we'll get that back soon. But so we incorporated a lot of the language that we talked about for representatives and their roles. We also created a PT Training Best Practices Committee, and the problem that we identified was that new cadets are often introduced to physical fitness through the Civil Air Patrol, and for that reason, they don't always know how to get started on PT. We hold cadets to standards in PT, as we rightfully should, but we don't always give them a way to get to those standards when they're first part of the program. So the thing that we came up with NCAC was proposing a sample workout plan to get to the standards for the first promotion be added to CAP pamphlet 60-50, which is the pamphlet that guides physical training. And so we passed that up to National Cadet Programs at the Winter Command Council as well. We also discussed the conglomeration of various NCO training curriculums. So I'm not sure if other wings have this, but I know in Minnesota wing we have a non-commissioned officers school that cadet NCOs can go through and gain the skills necessary to become a good cadet NCO. So we talked about at the national level taking all of those resources and putting them into one place, so that way that wings that don't have an NCO academy and want one, or wings that are looking at improving their NCO academy can look at those resources and see what other wings are doing well. So we talked about that at the CSAG, at the Winter Command Council, and so that was one of the proposals that we were working on. We also discussed the possibility, this was a proposal that was sent by one of the regions, I forget which one. This was a proposal that was sent to design a pin for cadet commanders. So as squadron commanders have a pin, a commander's pin, there was a proposal that cadet commanders have a similar item. So the NCAC discussed and we voted against it and we shot the proposal down. It was not sent to the National Uniform Committee. Another thing that we provided an update to for the Command Council was the social media outreach. So the NCAC has been working really hard to reach people on social media so that they have a greater idea of what the NCAC is and what we do. So feel free to follow the National Cadet Advisory Council on Instagram at CAPNCAC or on Facebook at the Civil Air Patrol National Cadet Advisory Council. I would really highly recommend you follow so that way you can stay up to date with all of our future proposals and the projects that we're working on. That's what we've done so far this term. We are working on a few items right now that I won't go into just yet because we just yesterday discussed how to get started, and we're still waiting on National Cadet Programs for feedback on how we should go forward in these projects. But there's a lot of programs that we're working on right now, and we're very excited to share them at the national conference. I'm so proud to be part of a group that's working really hard to make lives of cadets across the country better. And so if you have any questions about any of the proposals I set forth or any of the questions that you might have about how the National Cadet Advisory Council runs, feel free to reach out to me. My email is ihammett3042@gmail.com. Other than that, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great